This headline, what's amazing to me is that, and I guess I don't want to say naive is not the right word. I am amazed, and I'll just use amazed for now. Why it is that rich people give politicians money. In particular, kind of this new breed of complete huckster politician. They're just basically grifters. And so I'm having a hard time feeling sorry for rich people. A few examples of this. And I know you're going to say, well, Jeff, they give them money because they can control them and then they get what they want. Yeah. But they also seem to be getting burned a lot. For example, take the guy, I believe he's from somewhere in North Carolina. Here's a guy worth close to $1 billion. You don't get to $1 billion by being a complete moron, okay? He ended up now, of course, suing the Stop the Steal effort by the Trump grifters. And he came out and said, he sued them for good reason. He gave them something like $2.5 million. And shockingly, they didn't find anything. And shockingly, he had no idea what happened to his money. And the whole time I'm thinking, well, what did you think, buddy? You're a person who reads business plans. You're a person who's making investments based on data and facts and in real things. That's what people that make money do. They doesn't fall from trees. They have some substance to them. And here's a guy that gave $2.5 million under this ridiculous claim that it was all fixed and you're going to uncover all the corruption. And of course, a year and a half, 2 years later, he starts suing people saying, wait a minute, man, you took my money. You didn't find anything. I have a really difficult time feeling sorry for that guy. I'm really amazed how it is that he's made money. Well, there's a jumping off point for this. Take this headline, just take it in, because it's really going to shock you. Yahoo News, a billionaire donor, I know about this guy. He's one of the richest people in the country. A billionaire donor gave $535,200 to Herschel Walker for his Senate campaign, but it went to his personal company instead. You don't say. Really? What are you doing? What did you think? Who would give that guy? I mean, honestly. It's fine if some it's not fine. Some knucklehead that's, it's got $40 to his name. It's kind of pathetic and sad. $535,000, even to a rich person, is legitimate money. Buddy, what did you think was going to happen? It wouldn't be interesting. I'm just going to stop you right now. You've sent $535,000 to a guy who is shockingly dumb. I mean, sadly dumb. Barely functioning dumb. What did you think you were going to get? Seriously, what did you think you were going to get from this? Now he wants it back. Well, did you think he was going to win? Did you think he was going to win? And if he won, what are you going to get? This is the guy. Okay, now it's your $535,000. So all of you, whatever your, let's make this, let's even it out. Whatever $535,000 to you and your financial position of today. Maybe it's $1,000 to you or $5,000 to you or $40,000. I don't know. But that is a chunk of your wealth. You sent it to a guy who, when we last left him in a debate, displayed a fake badge that I call the Woody from Toy Story badge. It was one of the most comical and pathetic displays ever at a political debate. At that moment, anyone with any money, anybody with any common sense would say, wow, I'm not sending that check. $535,000. Now you'd say, well, Jeff, they blow it off. He wants it back. That's my point. It's just like the guy that gave the money $2.5 million to stop the steal. All of a sudden he realizes that sucks. I want my money back. You guys cannot be that stupid. Or can you? Well, let's meet the guy that just gave Herschel Walker $535,200. And oh, what a shock. He wants to know where the money is. Well, where do you think it is, man? You think? Where do you think it is? Oh, it gets better. Gets weird. Okay, so you send him $550,000. Help me out here, everybody. Help me out with this one, voters. You send that money to Herschel Walker. How many counties did Herschel Walker really have to go to? I mean, how many counties are in play? Is it really that hard to campaign in Georgia, honestly? Or do you really need $555,000 to campaign in about 4 counties? Really? Didn't somebody with money, even somebody without money, don't you do the simple math and say, I don't think I need to send you almost $1 million. You're just going to drive from town to town. It's not that big of a deal, buddy. You go on Fox News for free 4 nights a week. Why do you need $500,000 from me? Yeah, answer that, somebody. Please answer that. I really would like to know. I mean, if you said, Jeff, invest, I'd say, okay, well, let me try to get a return on this investment. We figure out what your real costs are. There's no way Herschel Walker needed $1 million to go travel around and say hi to a bunch of people and go on Fox News for free on Zoom. Well, then, of course, it's all come apart. Yeah, like you wouldn't know this already. Let's fix this. The headline is a billionaire donor gave $535,200 to Herschel Walker for his Senate campaign, but it went to his personal company instead. Let me rearrange this where it says a billionaire gave, all caps, gave Herschel Walker $535,200 as a handout, not a donation. There, I fixed it. Okay, now I say all of this, and the biggest takeaway is equally disturbing. I read from Yahoo News. Here it is. I get that there are a lot of dumb people. Billionaires typically do not do dumb things with their money. I remember I gave a presentation one time. It was the best lessons I have ever learned. I was young, had a business plan, did the whole thing that many of you know well, sat in a room, found out 3 of the people in the room were billionaires, and they were the smartest, most detailed people I have ever been around. There is nothing they missed. Here is a small little company they'd invested in. They picked apart my presentation. They picked apart my strategy. And the truth of the matter is the money that was being raised was lunch money for these guys, but they didn't screw it off. They'd fight, they'd question, they were so smart about every single dollar. It was my experience around really smart people who've made a bunch of money. They don't screw it off. You don't send Herschel Walker. The man is a buffoon, okay? You don't send him $500,000, then come back later and say, hey, Herschel, what happened? Where'd it go? I just don't know any rich person, any poor person that would operate that way. So here's the story because it gets a lot worse. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. Herschel Walker, the former NFL running back who ran a failed Senate campaign in Georgia, received $535,200 in political contributions that were wired to his personal company. This according to the Daily Beast. Walker received the sum meant for his Senate campaign from his friend, billionaire Dennis Washington, who I think lives in Idaho or I don't know where he is. Washington wired the money to Walker thinking it was a political contribution. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Herschel said, I'll take that. But the cash was deposited in an account for HR Talent. Now get ready for this part. A firm owned by Walker that was never disclosed in his financial statements. Huh. No way. It's really shocking that Herschel didn't know what the hell was going on, or maybe he did. He took your money, man. Now, what is HR Talent, you ask, citizens? I'm glad you asked. HR Talent. You ready for it? According to the New York Times, Herschel Walker ran 2 talent shows in Georgia called Herschel's Raw Talent. Oh, boy. It's like a porn movie. Maybe it was. Yeah. HR Talent is 2 talent shows in rural Georgia called Herschel's Raw Talent. Did I miss that show on TV? Where did anyone see Herschel's Raw Talent show? I don't know. I didn't want to ask you. That's going to end badly. Huh? I missed that part. So this guy, in other words, man, how much did Herschel pay himself? How much did the talent cost for the Herschel's Raw Talent Show. I'm just guessing I could be way off, but I'm thinking Herschel may have made $535,000 and the people in the talent show may have made $200. Did any of you see Herschel's Raw Talent Show? I missed it. Was it on before or after American Idol? That Kelly Clarkson won last week. Because the $535,200 was sitting in HR talent, they were legally unusable for Herschel Walker's campaign. When Washington staff learned of this, they contacted Walker asking the funds could be sent to a super PAC supporting the then GOP candidate. Shockingly, Herschel just kept the money there. And you think it's still there? What do you think? What do you think? Walker's Federal Election Commission filings show that he never moved the $535,000 to a super PAC. After losing his 2022 Senate run, Walker ended his campaign with $5 million in funds. Why? Why did you give him that money? Why? I actually find I don't think it's fair to steal. I don't think it's fair to deceive, but it's Herschel Walker. What did you think you were getting into? Who in their right mind thought this was going to end well? Really? Now, what's most depressing after everything I've just said, he's so dumb, it's sad. He was so clueless, it was sad. I found it, I even said more than once, I found it kind of pathetic and I felt like the guy was being used and everything was icky about it. That doesn't give him the right to steal from you. Then again, I think he's too dumb to steal from you. I don't think he even knows the difference. But remember, he's a guy. You thought he was going to win. He's a guy whose own son was campaigning regularly against him, saying he's a lunatic. His ex-wife or wives remember that she said that he was trying to stab her in the head? And you thought he was going to win. And then what were you going to get? So his son, remember, was begging people, traveling around, begging people not to vote for him. Now, the worst part of this is it's not just stealing the money. It's not the knife to the ex-wife's head. It's not the son. It's not even that, whatever the HR talent show is. You know what's the big takeaway? He almost won. He almost won. He did all that and he almost won. He almost won with arguably, I don't know, not arguably, he almost won with the worst resume ever put together. There's nothing worse. Nothing worse. He almost became a United States Senator.